I'm going to continue to kick ass and take names. I'm going to go work for myself, and I'm going to benefit for me.
Welcome back. This is Cristina Perez Hasano, Verdicts in Vogue, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Stevie Scotten. I can't say enough good things about you. One, because you're just one of my favorite people, but two, because I've had the pleasure of getting to know you virtually for like the first 3 years of our relationship, right?
Yeah, you're making me blush. Stop.
Well.
Or continue. I know.
So Stevie is a trial attorney. She is a partner at Poundstone Scotten. Did I say it right? Because I was Scotten or Scotten?
Scotten.
Scotten. Okay, good. Because sometimes it's like the New York accent. I just mess it up. But we've had the pleasure of getting to know each other virtually when we started the Cases and Coffee, right?
Yes.
Do you remember our first one?
Yes, I was so nervous to talk.
Were you? Why?
Because I'm like looking at all the greats and kind of intimidated, but I'm like, this is where we're going to be known, and this is what it's for, to kind of bounce ideas off of each other and women propping women up. So.
You're so modest because I consider you one of the greats.
Oh,
yeah, I'm telling you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
We started this Cases and Coffee thing probably like 3 years ago now, 3 years ago. And it's grown. You were one of the first people that were just a regular at our monthly meetings. And we have had laughs and cries and angry fits throughout the whole, throughout this.
And babies.
And babies. This is why, oh my gosh. How old is your baby now? He's 2?
He just turned 2.
And his name is so cool.
Styles.
So during the Cases and Coffee, Stevie was pregnant. And then at one meeting, she shows up virtually through Zoom with a baby on the camera. And she had just, how you showed up and you were like, it was like, you were on maternity leave, and you were.
I believe it was a week after. He was maybe a week old,
and you were at Cases and Coffee with a week-old baby in tow.
Yeah,
and he then grew up during. Right, remember he was showing up every month with us, and he was like the best baby. Plus, he's so cute. And now he moves around, but he was just kind of hanging out with us, and learning about the law with us too.
Right. And I thought it was really important to show other women attorneys that you can still be a mom. You can still have the family unit, and as hard as it may be, we can do it.
Yeah. Well, you have how many kids though?
I have 3 wonderful boys.
You're a boy mom.
I am a boy mom.
It's so different than being a girl mom.
I wouldn't know.
I'll tell you.
Sometimes I envy those moms where they're like, oh, my daughter's over here coloring and quiet. And here I'm over here praying. I'm not going to the ER, with boys just being boys.
I know.
But I wouldn't trade it.
How do you do it all?
She's hanging on by a thread.
It's okay.
Right. And that's okay. It's just moment by moment, day by day. And as corny and cliche as it sounds, if there's a will, there's a way.
There really is.
Yeah.
And you just go into that mode where it's like one foot in front of the other and you just get it done. Right?
Absolutely.
So I like to surround myself with women who get shit done.
Love it.
And you are one of those women.
Same, girl. Same.
So even if it's showing up to a Cases and Coffee meeting, which you could have easily said, hey, I'm on maternity leave. I don't want to hear from you ladies until week 12. You showed up with a 1-week-old sleeping right next to you on the screen and just got it done. And I know we talked about cases, and you actually had a case that you were still working on at the time. I remember that.
Yeah.
Which got continued, right?
I did. Not that one. That one surprisingly ended up settling.
Good.
And it was a great settlement.
Good. Because that case, I know we had talked about, and we potentially were going to try it together.
Yes.
And I was so happy when I was happy for you and your client when for whatever reason, I can't remember if was it like a defense excuse that they couldn't do it or they needed more time and they kicked it down the road. Do you remember?
There, as I've never heard of it, but it was something with judicial rotations and judges were coming on and no one called a jury. So we were set for trial.
And you prepped for trial.
And a jury was not called. So can't try a case if there's no jurors.
And they kicked it off. And is that when you got the defense attorney's attention?
Yes. I'm not sure if that was the moment I got his attention, but it was a silly case that it was not a silly case. It was a silly position
that they were taking.
They were taking.
You don't say.
I know.
So
shocker.
And I don't. So I don't know if people realize the positions that defense counsel take when it's an obvious issue where you're like, why would you even think of putting that forward? Or we have admissions and you're still saying that it's not our client's fault. I mean, it's not your client's fault, that it's our client's fault in some way. And they just take it all the way. And I don't know if that's the billing practice, which is why they have to do it. Or sometimes I think it's because they think they'll bully us into like agreeing to them or taking something less.
100%. I always look at, okay, so is defense counsel outside or in-house?
That makes a difference. Tell us why.
It makes a difference because then I think they're just churn and burn the file. I could be wrong, but that's what I read between the lines.
Sure.
And I think in defense attorneys' defense, the carrier, the insurance company, they're in the business of making money, not paying money.
Oh, yeah.
So
they're not your friends.
No, not at all. And
even if it's your own insurance, you're underinsured or uninsured. I think sometimes I think that they're even worse.
Which is, I view as a gift at times if they want to, because then it's like, I will pursue this bad faith case. Thank you. But I don't understand when the in-house counsel takes the ridiculous positions where I'm like, I know you were overworked, and you're still going down this road. We can let's go.
Sure. So tell us, I mean, for those who are listening, what's the difference between in-house counsel and out counsel?
Okay, so in-house counsel is basically an insurance company that has a law firm and they have salaried attorneys within that law firm. Mm-hmm. An outside counsel is a private defense firm who basically bills the file. An in-house counsel, I believe they don't keep track of their time. And they don't bill the file. It's just they get paid a salary. They're there to do their job, and that's it.
And oftentimes, when you have in-house counsel, they have really nothing to lose, right? So they have unlimited resources. They may not be looking over their shoulder. I think they take more unreasonable positions, push it all the way, and eventually they end up. I mean, a lot of times we end up in trial more likely than not when it's an in-house counsel, or you just have a annoying attorney on the other end from a third party, and they'll remain nameless because we do talk about that on our third Thursdays of the month.
We do that. We do. We will name drop there.
Not here.
Right. And I mean, you just got to approach it like, I understand everyone has a job to do.
Yeah.
But
really, everyone has a job to do.
I know.
Some of them take their jobs a lot more. I don't know if it's like more brazen, more seriously, or they just are sociopaths, because that doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree. And it almost sometimes I find myself looking and like, do I have imposter syndrome right now? Like, am I in the same world because I don't understand how you're taking this position, because I always like to play devil's advocate of,
Sure.
okay, I can understand where you have a reasonable argument. Sure, I know you're doing the best thing for your client. But there's a lot of times where I'm like, are we looking at the same file here?
So let's talk about imposter syndrome, because you brought it up, right? Because that's a
Yep.
word that gets thrown out a lot.
Yeah.
What does imposter syndrome mean to you?
Where it's kind of like, am I the attorney? Is that what's happening? Sometimes it makes me feel like that and question myself with some of the arguments I face, because I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's ludicrous position, but fine, you want to go down that route, I'll work anyone under at the table.
You know, working in the world that we work in, still being male dominated, for trial attorneys, I find that a lot of the women that we talk with sense that they also have this imposter syndrome, right? I deal with it all the time, where you question, do I belong here? Am I
100%.
supposed to be here? How did I get here? Are they going to find out if I'm a fake? Like all these things going, like all this negative self-talk, right? That comes
Yes.
into your head, and you're like, oh, I hope that they don't know that I have this insecurity here, or like maybe I don't know this as much as I do, or oh my goodness, they have 30 something years of experience. And then I'm like, screw that. I'm like, what the heck am I talking about? Oftentimes it's like this overconfidence of the other side, usually a male attorney. I don't think I've had a lot of female defense attorneys, even though there's a number of younger ones that I've been dealing with lately. But oftentimes it's when there's an older attorney, older defense attorney on the other side, where they say something so as a matter of fact, where I'm like, is he right? And then I have to look it up. I'm like, no, he's fucking wrong.
I don't have enough hands to count on the fact that I've heard, well, in my 40 years of experience, and I'm like, okay, well, that's great when the rules were then. Have you seen the rules today? Because they've been rewritten. And sure, you may have drafted them, in 1980. Wonderful. That's not what they are today.
Do you know that happened? So we had a rule that was changed in December, I think, of 2024, and it was the Rule 35 of medical examinations, right? And I can't tell you the number of times attorneys were like, well, you can't have it videoed. You can't have this attendee, or you can't. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, the rule went into place. And they were like, oh,
well, that's what I used to argue 20 years ago, and
exactly.
It worked.
Exactly.
Right.
And then the rules changed and they forgot to check. And I'm like, well, no, buddy, check this one off. And then you send them their notice. I think I actually used your notice. You sent me a notice. I'm like, hey, what do I do on this section? You're like, here, use this. This is what I do every time they notice a Rule 35 examination. And I'm like, great. I heavily borrowed your verbiage and then put it on my pleading.
I'm pretty sure I heavily borrowed it from someone, and I just update it. And I'm like, everyone, what can I do to improve and not run into this next issue? And so then I'm revising it again. So, why create the wheel when we can share stuff?
Of course. And I think that's one of the other things that we do in our women's group, because we started a document bank.
Yes.
Which we all share our documents that are not protected in some way or have some type of agreement with defense counsel that we can't share. But we all share our documents that we have that can assist someone else, from complaints to discovery to things like this, the Rule 35 notice. And it makes our practice easier, because I know I can jump on that document bank if I don't have something on point before I ask everyone. Look to see if it's there, pull it up, maybe revise it, not revise it, whatever it may be, depending on how good it is, or if there's something else I can add, and then use it, which makes our life so much easier.
So much easier.
And it's free.
Yes.
Right?
It's absolutely amazing. I love it because it's just other women collaborating,
right?
Which is awesome.
So we went. So Ron, so you didn't go this year, but I know you're going to go. I know I'm going to get you to go.
I had my Beckett's field trip. I already committed.
Understand. But we were talking about the Nevada Justice Association. I keep calling it New Jersey. Nevada Justice Association Embrace Your Inner Badass Conference, which is my favorite conference, right? And I talked about it with Rhonda earlier today because she interviewed me. But I say this because it is I think the best conference because it's for women by women judges only attend, and women vendors only. And the cool thing about it is that it helps on mindset. Like the first day is mindset, the next day is trial skill sets. And then the final day is like a recap and then business admin, right? So they always do this kind of thing. And it's
that's amazing.
Yeah. So we had this year Jackie Bertel from, what was she from? Bighorn Law. And she is in tune to like her firm, and they have a huge firm, about what they do and all their numbers. But that is something that I value because with what they offer, it's kind of like what we wanted to start in Arizona, right? And so I know you haven't gone yet, but mark your calendar. Even though we may get in trouble for doing this because we're advertising a seminar that's not AZAJ, right?
Well, we're supporting women.
We are supporting women.
So that's important.
In my mind, I think that's enough.
Yes.
In the powers that be, it may not be enough. Right? We get
it's one
spanked
of
a little
those.
bit
Is
on
it
that.
ask for forgiveness, permission, whatever the saying is? You know what I mean. And that's one quirk about me. I always get sayings wrong constantly.
Oh, me too. Me too. Ships, right? What was that? The ships. Sophia, she's like ships rising, ships, sails. I don't even know it.
But we're so similar on many levels.
So March 11th to March 13th
okay.
of 2027, they're going to have it in Santa Barbara. So, I mean, I know that's already on my calendar. And we are continuing to trying to foster that until we can do something like that in Arizona. But while we were there, like just to kind of circumvent back to like the main point, while we were there, the first day we heard this attorney, an amazing attorney, and she's also a coach. She was working with she was talking about like her change in career path and where she was in a partnership, and she found a journey. She went through her journey, her Shiro journey, and she ends up deciding that she needed to leave her partnership because she wanted to go and find her own pod. Because an orca, right? I didn't know this. Orcas are females, usually, like the orca females usually teach, the grandmothers and the mothers teach the young, the new generation, how to hunt and find, food and so forth, all the knowledge that they have, and they give it onto the younger female orcas, so that they themselves can then go. So they create this pod of women to collaborate with.
I had no idea about orcas.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so orcas do that, and that's how they function, right? And so we came back inspired about forming our own pod. And it kind of, in a way, we've already started it, right? We have our pod, our Thursday pod, and we all have these different talents and different views on what we practice and how long we've been practicing, but that kind of helps enforce what we're trying to do for our clients.
It's very important with going to this conference. Mm-hmm. I do agree. And yes, I had major FOMO, but I always want to be able to look back and say, I did what I could for my kids.
Of course.
At every turn. And when my son tells me, I want you to go on the field trip. I'm yeah. And you're going out in public. I'm going with you.
Agreed.
And that's where it's like my own nerves in it. I just didn't feel comfortable going out of state. But
no, I agree with you, and that makes sense. But as the boys get older, it's something that
I can let go a little bit.
I don't know about let go. Eva went on a field trip yesterday, and I didn't. The school didn't even ask for volunteers. You know how the school usually says, "Hey, volunteer." They didn't ask for any volunteers. They just said, "Hey, we're going to go on a field trip the day before yesterday. Like, we're going to go on a field trip tomorrow. To remember to bring this." And I'm like, giving her the whole speech, and she's 10, and she's a mature 10, right? So she's like really mature. She should be like 15, and she is. And I was like, don't talk to strangers, don't get lost. This is my phone number. What's my number?
Yeah.
What's your house address? Make sure, and so that never leaves. I mean, that's just something that's like, it's just
super
part
scary.
Of it. I know.
Yeah. And I think I've already decided, even if the kids have another field trip and it's one of those, hey, it's the next day. Okay, well, I'll meet you there.
Yeah. So you're like me in a lot of ways. I mean, yesterday I think was the first field trip that one of my kids went where it wasn't either me or my husband. And I say me or my husband, it's usually my husband, right? Or like somebody from my family, but it's usually someone else that's going. Like what I recently did is I hired my nephew who's 22 years old. He's in at ASU. He wants to be a lawyer and he is now a part of the Perez Law Group team.
Oh,
And
I love that.
he's so cute. He is such a cutie. He is now being a receptionist, but he's also kind of an assistant.
That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I think starting out as a receptionist is, I mean, that was my foundation.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you start out as a receptionist?
The law offices of Melissa Atterbury. That was in Chico,
Okay.
California. That's where I'm from, is Northern California. And I went to school with her son.
Okay.
And when I was 17 in college, I moved up to Chico, and she happened to need someone. And so I reached out to her, and she's a boss bitch.
Wow.
And so she was a great inspiration to kind of show me, you can do all of this, because she has a family, and she was amazing to learn from.
Who do you think, if you were to say today, who would be one of your main mentors that you look to or inspire to be like?
I would have to say, in this moment,
Yeah.
I'm sitting across from her. Yeah. I think you have it all together.
You made me cry, but I mean, I didn't.
But like, I'm being serious.
Okay.
I think it's amazing. Like, I see you go on conferences, you're putting yourself out there.
Are we gonna both cry?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
I know. You cry, I cry. We're criers.
I am so like, I'm like such a strong, like I try not to.
Do you hear? Here.
I'm so like, and I'm also an ugly crier, so I don't try
Same.
not to cry in
I swell
public.
up. It's a whole thing. Yeah. No, seriously.
Wow, I didn't expect that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think it's amazing. From when did I get in this business? I've been an attorney for 10 years now.
Yeah, 2016.
I've watched you grown tremendously. And you help people along the way. And I think that's amazing. If it's clients, you're helping them, right? If it's other attorneys, you're helping them. You drop everything and help. So it's an inspiration.
Phoebe, that's so sweet. I'm like trying to hold back my tears because I didn't expect that answer.
Surprise!
Thank you. I thought you were gonna say like Randy McGinnis or Dorothy Sims or like.
No. And I love that you beat to your own drum, because
I'm odd and like my own way.
Well, I mean, I think it's
okay.
just
I'm like nerdy, dorky, odd. I get it.
Aren't we all though?
Kind of.
I mean, I am.
So I do beat to my own drum. That is true.
Yeah.
No.
And maybe that's why I feel so comfortable with you too, because it's like I gravitate towards that.
That quirkiness.
Yes.
We have it where it's like you're not like this.
You don't take yourself so serious.
Yeah.
Life can't be so serious.
No. Do you see? Can I tell the story from Nashville? Do you see my black eye?
What happened? I didn't see it until now. Is this where she's asking for help? Like, is this a scream for help?
No, it's not a scream for help. It is. I was presenting in Nashville, and I may have had a couple cocktails. I don't know. That's allegedly. And it was. I am walking across the street to a bar. Sophia leaves me because she should be next to me.
It's all her fault.
It was crowded. I end up tripping on the foot of a statue, and I end up hitting my face against the pole.
Oh my God.
I know. This is before I had to present. Nick's laughing. I didn't tell you. You didn't notice it? Thank God that she knows. Are you going to show a picture?
Did you go into there?
How did you trip?
So the statue had a little bit of like like a little rim around it, and so my foot, and it was lifted, my foot got caught underneath, and I went catapulted forward. And then they have these metal bollards, and so when they had the metal bollard, my face was lucky enough to, I mean, it stopped me from going through traffic when my face hit it.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
kind of scorpioned when my legs went forward back. I'm not, you guys laugh now, but it could have been bad, but it wasn't. Because God protects babies and fools, and that day I was definitely a fool. So, I
the attorneys?
I know. That was the first question. Like, do you think that
You're
we
just
have?
trying to catch a case.
So do we have a case against the city of Nashville? And I'm like, nah, because I may or may not have been having some cocktails. So no, I'm gonna say my fault. And so anyway, so I end up falling, and I immediately was like this. Sophia's across the street. She's like, well, what's taking them so long? Then she realizes that they're picking me off the ground, and I'm like, and I'm laughing, right? Because I trip all the time, whether I am intoxicated or not. And I was not intoxicated, allegedly. And so, and then I ended up just saying, hey, okay, well, I'm laughing it off, and we just go into the next bar, right? And so it didn't get bad till like that. But yes, so I don't take myself seriously because I ended up presenting 2 days later.
I love it.
It's so bad. And I've been living with this for like the last 2 weeks.
Oh my
People
God.
think that I'm like a survivor or something bad happened to me, but it's nothing. I happened to me.
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem.
I am the problem. Most of the time it's me.
Yeah, I'm pretty clumsy too.
Okay, so back to you.
Okay.
Thank you for the kind words.
Of course.
Now, you joined forces with Robert Poundstone in, what was it, 2016?
Yes.
Okay, 2016. And you have now been together for 10 years.
10 years.
Love it.
Yes.
What do you see for yourself professionally in the next 5 years?
Well, I'm going to continue to kick ass and take names.
Yes.
Just as he is. But as a firm, we're definitely going to continue that and hopefully, grow more and just keep the focus on the clients and doing what we love.
If you were to talk to a person who's thinking about doing like in between, like wants to be a lawyer but doesn't know what kind of law they want to get into, and they're like, "Well, I kind of want to be in trial. I want to kind of help people. I'm not sure personal injury is for me or civil justice, right?
Right.
Well, it's because it's a fancier way of saying personal injury lawyer, civil justice lawyer. What would you say to that young female who's saying, "Can I do this?"
You absolutely can do this.
Mhm.
It's just what interests you. And I think the best way to find out is to be involved. So if it's a clinic, go get the experience. And that's kind of why I started out in a law firm. I wanted to know, do I really want to invest this for the rest of my life? Like, do I want to be around all of this? And it's okay not to know what area of law you want to practice because most of the time you're not going to practice what you anticipate. You can just weed it out by trying things. Oh, I don't want to do that, or I
Yeah.
really do like that, and then you can kind of narrow it down that way.
Is there any area of law that you think you would want to do if you weren't doing personal injury?
When I was in law school, I always wanted to do con law.
Okay.
It intrigues me. I love it. America first, always.
Okay.
So I love learning about the foundation of our nation. So, but I know that, I'm not going to be a professor. That's not my
That's what I
life.
was gonna say. It looks like you're going into a research project.
No, I'm good. I'm good. So, usually it's your first job, what is going to cast what kind of attorney you're going to be. So just be able to recognize, do I really want to take
What do you
that
mean by
first
that?
job?
Say more.
What I've seen just by my peers is if they land a job, it's amazing, but they end up either practicing for that insurance defense firm and just being stuck in a closet and bill. And
It's like the negative view that we have of like defense attorneys. I mean, we are kind of biased too. We're like, oh, they just bill. They need to bill the file, paper.
I did work at defense firms.
You did?
I did.
Where? Where did you work? Share with us.
I worked at Kavanaugh.
Oh, okay. I mean, they're a great firm. They're a great firm. One of
I
my
had a great mentor there.
Who?
Frank Fox. He
Oh,
was
okay,
he was
okay.
wonderful.
Okay. I have a nemesis
Still
there.
wonderful. You know,
Yeah.
he was a black hat, and because I've had the background of working in different firms,
Mhm.
I was able to recognize I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I left Kavanaugh to open my own firm. I didn't have a plan. I just said, that's not what I'm doing.
So let's talk about that. You left the defense firm and you said, I'm going to go open up my own firm.
100%.
Were you married at the time or single?
I was engaged.
Okay. And you decided, I'm going to do
Wait,
this.
was I engaged? What year was that? I was just married.
Okay. So you're just married and you said, I'm going to go ahead and open up a firm.
Yes.
And what was your next step? Because here's the deal. I opened my shingle up like probably a year after I became a lawyer. It took me a while to become a lawyer because I was traveling back and forth to Spain and I didn't hand in all my stuff. I was kind of slow footing being an adult. But once I became a lawyer, I opened up my shingle 1 year, probably almost to like 1 year and 2 months later. Right.
Mhm.
And I was forced out. I didn't make the choice. You're saying you made the choice and said, I'm going to open up my own firm. Why?
I kind of feel like, in a sense, depending on how you look at it,
Mhm.
was I forced out or did I make that decision? Um, I think I did make that decision just looking at my past in
Sure.
general, where it's just like I was seeing all these firms, all the politics, the red tape, and you working for someone. And I'm like, I'm going to go work for myself and I'm going to benefit for me.
Sure. No, I mean,
So if I'm going to put
I
my
agree.
blood,
Amen
sweat,
to you.
and tears into work, it's going to be for myself. I'm going to bet on myself every single day. So that was my decision. I really didn't have a plan.
So then that's the thing. So you knew your value system was saying, your moral compass was saying, this is not for me. I
100%.
cannot do this. I need to do that.
It wasn't that I could not do it, because I
Yeah.
think I can do anything.
Of course. Okay.
It was, I don't want that life.
Sure.
I don't want to be FaceTiming my kids for someone else and patting their pockets. And, that's really what it comes down to, because
Yeah.
it's structured. And who do you work for? Do you have a senior partner
Mhm.
that you're assigned to? I just didn't like the hierarchy. I never really have. I'm from a very small town. I was always told, you're really not going to be anything.
Who told you that?
I've had teachers. I come from very humble beginnings.
So tell me about that. Tell me, so where do you come from?
I'm from Northern California. I grew up in a very small town surrounded by rice fields. My high school, I think I had, was it 80 students? Maybe 65 students by the time we graduated.
Okay.
So super small. My mom was raised there, so she raised us there. And in that town, it's an amazing little town. I love it. But you either are a farmer or you work for the farmers. I didn't like the distinction. I wanted more.
So who told you that you couldn't be an attorney?
Oh,
Or who told you couldn't be more?
I mean, I'm not gonna say names,
No,
but
but
I've had
generally.
teachers. Teachers thought I, just did not have it. People would say, "What do you want to be?" And, "Oh, an attorney." And they look at me and laugh.
How old
They're
were
like,
you?
"Well, I would say probably junior year high school."
Do you want to take a moment and say F them? They may never see this, but just say, you know what? Here you go. F you.
Nah, it's not worth my time.
You're so less pettier than I am. I'd be like, F you.
Well, I do it every day, right? Because I wake up. I wake up for me. I'm not going to beat to someone else's drum.
I love that.
So it's always one of those things where it's just like, fuck you. I got this. And
they're probably still a teacher. in a small town somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, and I look back at it where it's just like these teachers,
May have not known better.
they didn't know better. I mean, that's when teachers would throw kids against the wall still, right? So it was never me, but I've seen it, and it's just one of those things where, some friends would say, well, you want to be an attorney, why wouldn't you just be a secretary? And I'm like, open your mind. What do you mean?
What do you think installed that motivation in you?
People telling me I couldn't do something.
And that made you want to do it more?
Yes. And I think they probably viewed like where I came from, who my parents were, who my family was. Very humble beginnings. Drugs surrounded some of the environment. Siblings, a sibling went to prison. I think that did shape me though, because I knew what I didn't want my life to be.
I'm so proud to know you.
Oh,
I really am. I didn't know I didn't know this, and you're just amazing. You've always been amazing to me.
I really don't talk about a lot of this stuff.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like dealing with emotions. Really, that's why.
Same girl, same. Same. But you got me teary-eyed today.
So it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm balls to the wall, gonna fight every single day and count on myself.
But look what a blessing it is to have that foundation where you came from, where it teaches you what you don't want your future to look like.
100%. And I know my parents did the best they could.
Sure.
And if that didn't happen, who knows if I would have been here? Because maybe it wouldn't have shaped that I was going to reach for more and not just go get married and be okay with, nothing against stay-at-home moms or anything like that. I think that's amazing and it's needed. But I'm going to do everything.
I'm so impressed by you.
Oh,
I can't even put it into words right now. I'm just staring at you, and you're just like such a beautiful person inside and out.
Aw.
And you're so strong.
Stop.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And no wonder you were on camera holding a 1-week-old. And I'll never forget that, because I actually went back to work when Eva was 1 week. I had to hand her off to a nanny. And it killed me inside.
It's so hard.
So hard. But I handed her off because, it was expected of me by my partner at that time to go back to work immediately. And so I had to do that. But the only other person I've ever met that has gone back to work after 1 week post-labor is you. Oh my God. So I'm fangirling a little bit right now.
I love it. No, I'm glad to know that, because sometimes I'm like, I need to be in a padded room. Like, that's psychotic if you think about it.
It is.
But at the same time, though, like, I also think it helped.
Oh, yeah.
So, like postpartum depression and just pulling you out of that stuff. I think it was important for my mental health to be surrounded by women and not hopefully suffer.
Yeah. Going back to the grind. Sometimes that's like it's a distraction is needed in order not to fall into the sadness. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. As hard as it is. So a lot of things I do, it's just, am I really thinking about it? I'm just doing.
If you could, and we have to go into the quick fire round coming up now, but if you could tell your younger 5-year-old self something as you sit here today, what would you tell that 5-year-old self?
Keep kicking ass. You're going to do it.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready. Okay. This is not this. Okay. What challenge are you currently growing through?
Trying to juggle being a mom of 3 rambunctious boys, being present for them, and not letting it reflect in my firm.
What makes someone truly trustworthy?
I would have to say loyalty,
Would you rather be respected or liked?
respected.
What do you think people regret most at the end of their life?
That they didn't try.
Okay.
They did not take the risk.
Have you ever outgrown someone you thought would be in your life forever?
Oh, yeah. Many chapters of life, unfortunately.
How'd you let go?
As unhealthy as it probably is, it's just one of those things where once I make the decision, that's it. Game over.
Really, you're so tough. Like I need more of that in my life. Have you ever taken a risk that scared you but you paid off?
I would say there's probably every single chapter of my life too, where it's just like I moved to Arizona. My husband now, but boyfriend at the time, I was like, we were living in Sacramento. And I'm like, I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to go do this. You can meet me out there. You can't meet me out there, but this is what I'm going to go do. And I came out here by myself.
Wow. He followed a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Got
did.
that. Because
Yeah.
you guys live together.
Right. Right. So it was just one of those things where as I look back, I'm like, wow, you really don't think this stuff through that much. But I think
Gotta go.
subconsciously I probably am because I'm very like, I have to research everything to understand something. So, I take the risk.
Favorite flavor ice cream?
That's a good
So
one.
hard. Such a hard question.
I do love me a good rainbow sherbet.
Really?
I know. I do love it. And some people were like, that's not ice cream.
I didn't say it because that's Chris's favorite flavor of ice cream. So he likes rainbow sherbet. So I expected that. I mean, I expected it as an ice
Okay.
cream, but you're technically right. It's not really an ice cream. It's
Right?
like water. A little bit of milk. All right. Last question. If you had a choice of your walk-on song wherever you went, what's your number one walk-on song?
Oh, this is a good one.
Pick that one wisely because we may play it for you in the future.
I don't know. I was not prepared for that.
Do you have a song? I don't have my phone with me, but I would play you different songs if you wanted to.
I know. Well, so I always say like, I probably would say Notorious B.I.G.
Which one?
Juicy.
I know the words.
Yeah. I mean, that one comes to my mind, forefront. But then
I love that song.
from
And
the
there's
bottom, what is that Drake song? I
from
forget.
the bottom to the top.
Yeah, there's that one, but Drake's
Juice-
not really my guy.
The juicy one I think is fitting because it's fitting because you had with the teachers the verdict the line about the
100%.
teachers. Yeah.
And where
Yeah.
I mean, I remember sitting in the classroom being like, bro, you're in this classroom in this town. Like, fuck you. Like, let's be real, okay? So,
Another F-bomb. How many we are?
I know, sorry.
3 F-bombs?
Oh.
Okay. So they're like my language police. So,
Oopsies.
It's okay. But I love that. So the Drake song and Juicy, which is one of my top 5 favorite songs, if not my top 3 favorite songs. It's like that is the song I love that song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it for you. I'm gonna find a way that I can play that for you.
I
so that
love
you
it.
can walk into it.
I mean, I'll just sit there and I think I'm a rapper and just be like spitting all the bars. And I'm like, you look ridiculous, but it's fun.
Well, with that, Stevie, I want to say thank you. Cheers to you and everything that you have accomplished and stand for.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.